Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of this little video series that I'm doing, I guess. I've tried out a few more dinosaurs, farmed more quests for different dinosaurs to get the abilities that I want. Tried out a couple of the new abilities and the new combinations that you can make on different dinosaurs. It really feels like a lot of the dinosaurs in the game now, from this update, have had a lot of options opened up for them in how they want to build, and that is great. Either way, let's have a look at a couple of the map changes. Titan's Pass has turned into an amazing questing zone now, especially for solo players, with it having 5 red quests, which is equivalent to 2 minutes and 30 seconds of growth. Not to mention the new details and little changes they've added around the area that in the rain can make this map perfect for something like a Halloween event. Or, it just seems scary whenever it's raining and foggy. But as you can see, when it's nice and sunny, it looks nice and peaceful. Now time for everyone's most hated zone. I think, at least. I know I really dislike this zone, but not because of its looks, more just because the kind of groups you kind of meet here. As you know, Green Valley has had an update. They've added a lot more trees, a lot more bushes, a few more details. The river looks absolutely amazing for all you semi-aquatic players who want to go in there. I'm sure we'll have some Sarcos to surprise us sometime in the future. Well, that was the south side of GV at least. Let's have a look at the north side. The entrance from Big Quill into Green Valley looks amazing, or vice versa. Either way you want to go, that's up to you. Either way, they got this huge arch here that looks really cool. You can use this probably to get away from some Rexes. Maybe they'll bonk their head on the ceiling or something. I think that would be quite funny. Either way, the changes to this area, just even the entrance of Green Valley, is amazing. In my opinion, you got all these rocks for a Pachy or a Raptor or a Cerato to use. You can get up away from anything else that can really kill you. Maybe a little annoying in reverse, though. Okay, Wilderness Peak, another one that is, I think, a little interesting, because not many people actually quest here. But it is actually quite a good questing zone, but also now a very good zone for the groups at Crater who maybe don't want to drink the water there because they're doing the replenish quest. They can come up here now and drink the water up by the entrance to Wilderness Peak. Woohoo! Because the Sarcos at the river weren't expecting people to go drink there anyway. Okay, let's talk about the Allo. For this thing has gotten quite a lot of love. It is a very strong dino right now. With its improved stamina and stamina regen now, it can comfortably fight quite a lot of things that are bigger than it now, even a Rex. Of course, that only works if you are good enough, which I am not. With the new stamina improvements and the turning improvements that Allo has received, it is a lot more comfortable to play and can actually do something if it's solo to at least survive. Obviously, this does not work if you are just outnumbered, as it doesn't with any dino. You know how it is. Main rule of thumb for Allo, how I see it, is to just cover what you're bad at. Try and fix what you're bad at. Example being here that I am a defense subspecies, which on base has a worse turning than a speed or balance subspecies Allo. So I decided to go with the traction tail so that I can turn a bit better and do something to this Rex in the first place. The only problem with this, though, is that because I don't have a tail attack, I do struggle against anything that's really smaller and faster than me, especially when outnumbered. If you want to play solo with a bigger dino, I would very heavily suggest you just put on a tail attack. You may still get, tail ridden, but you will not be tail ridden as hard as you are without a tail attack in the first place. But if you are playing with friends, feel free to get rid of it. They can take care of your back, you can take care of theirs. That's just how it works. Okay, you all knew it was coming. Time for the Pachy. I love this dino so much right now. With it being solo, it has this passive that allows for more maneuverability and extra armor. And with this extra maneuverability, this seems to work in the air as it works right now. Basically turning this thing into an air-strafing Doomslayer Pachy that can outrun pretty much anything in the game. Along with also chasing down anything in the game, other than Struthi and Campto, of course. And when it comes to building your Pachy, it doesn't really matter what you use. The speed subspecies is good, the attack subspecies is good, and even the balance subspecies is also still really good. Of course, the balance subspecies is what I used to use, because it had the most armor. But, if you want to play solo, the new Lone Survivor passive that you get for playing solo covers up that armor loss that you get from choosing a different subspecies other than the balanced one. Meaning that my now speed Pachy with speed hide is pretty much the same as my old balanced Pachy in terms of its durability, but now just faster. Doubly faster thanks to the speed hide. And now with the new hides for Pachy not having any negatives to them anymore, such as extra speed and extra armor, you are free to do as you want and you will not be going wrong. Now let's just enjoy the death of this dear chicken. And now the last for this video is the Pycno. One of my favorite dinos just for the sole fact of how goofy it can be. But now also how deadly this thing can be. Name of the game of this dino is if you are faster than something, you can bully it. And what I mean by that is if you can get behind a dino, a bigger dino that has a tail attack, you can really abuse its cooldown. So long as you can get the timing down for that at least. It's received a new passive ability called Lone Hunter, meaning that when it is not in a group, it receives a 10% attack boost. And what that means for my balanced Pycno is that I have a bit more tankiness, along with now pretty much the same damage as the old attack Pycno before this update. That means I have lost nothing by going as the balanced subspecies and gained extra damage. Of course, this comes with only being outside of a group. So if you are playing with friends, you may want to not be in a group with them. And just remember their Pycno skin or their dinosaur skin. Because we all know what it's like to receive a Pycno charge, and would be extra annoying from one of your friends on accident. We all know that feeling. As I said before, I am a balanced Pycno, but that's mainly because how I see Pycno, that it is such a big dino for its weight class. It does need all of the armor it can get, in my opinion. So how I would go to build it is you can go any subspecies you want, really. That is up to you. That will determine how you want to play. But the only real thing you have to worry about is the difference between playing solo or with a group. If you are playing with a group, same as the Allo, you can get rid of your tail attack. Same case as I've always said, if you're playing in a group, they can cover your mistakes, you can cover their mistakes. They can get the people off your back, you can get the people off their back. But if you do want to have a tail attack, that is an extra way to get any little guys who are just tail riding you and being annoying, getting behind you. You can at least do something to put a little bit of pressure on them. But for those who are playing solo, I 100% say just put the tail attack on and just know your limits. Your main problem will be things like patches, I would say personally, as they are just monsters right now. You've all seen them. They are attacking everything they can see in a 50-mile radius. Having a tail attack on Pycno as a solo player does offset a lot of the problems that smaller dinos can give you. So, as an example, you can use all of the normal abilities. So you bite, your headbutt, your lone survivor, your hyper carnivore, your charge ability on the back limb. There is no voice ability yet, but you know, we can dream for the future. I personally like to use the gripping claws for the leg slot because extra turning on Pycno is it's the bread to your butter for how Pycno is played. Extra turning is always going to be good. The only exception for that, though, is when you are solo. For if things are smaller than you and faster than you, like Patchies, and you're outnumbered, you are going to have a very hard time. So chuck on that tail attack, and life will be a lot easier for you if you are a solo player. For those of you who like to play in a group, it's pretty much the exact same build other than your tail attack. Or should I say lack of tail attack, because we are removing the tail attack and we're putting on the balanced tail. As I always say, if you're in a group, you can play with friends, they can cover your back, you cover their back. We all know how it works. With the extra turning that you get from the balanced tail, you can really put a lot of pressure on anything that's really just bigger and slower than you. Because you can just break ankles for days and they've just got to be a mind reader on knowing what you're going to do. And now we're at the end of the video. I hope any of you who have been watching have found any of this useful, I guess. I prefer not to give you a cookie cutter guide on what I do, but instead try to teach a mindset of how to look at the different dinos. The general mindset of the dino that you play and how their play style will affect whether you want to play them or not. And with that, I plan to do this for a few more dinos that I enjoy. Like maybe the Stego. And with that, I shall see thee tomorrow. Bye.